Greetings and welcome to another session of the Reflections of the Inner Man. First and foremost, just want to give a shout out to my subscribers. Thanks for listening in. Thanks for tuning in. I truly appreciate the love and support. In this particular session, I'm going to be talking about hope and how the very presence of hope can be detrimental to one's own development and to one's own enlightenment in their path of life. Today, we live in a world where there is a lot of people who are trying to figure out who they are and what they are and what purpose that they have in this reality. And for a lot of these individuals, it's very scary to take this path alone. And so they prefer to be in the comfort of others. They prefer to have their identity attached to a group mindset or just a group in general. And for a lot of these people, they attach their identity to sectors like religion and politics. And as I study these two particular sectors, the one thing that I see very common amongst a lot of people is the fact that these people tie in their identity to the concept of hope. So what do I mean by this? When you pay particular attention to a lot of these politics, and especially in the world of religion, a lot of people believe that hope is what sustains them. They believe that hope is the reason that they still continue to live today and the next day. And with hope, it seems to give a glimmer of optimism, to make one believe that sooner or later, things will line up just the way they believe it will. And so if you pay attention to what these people believe, for some, if they can just have the right circumstance in their life, things will change for the better. For some, they believe that if they just get hired by the right company, their life will be great. If they just go to this particular school, everything will turn out fine. If this particular individual, the feelings that you have for them, if they could just somehow return the same feelings to you, then your life will have some meaning and purpose. And especially in regards to politics, if we could just have certain laws and certain policies put into place, then things will be all right. And then if you look at it in the eyes of religion, as long as you keep following the ways of a certain group or a certain sector, then you too will one day live in prosperity or have a life outside of this reality that will be far better. And although those sound pretty good on paper and sound very enticing nonetheless, there's just an issue with hope that many people just do not want to come to this particular reality. And that is this: the only way hope can exist is through external validation. So what do I mean by that? Well, the examples that I have given you before, those individuals or those groups, they believe that the only way that their life can be better for themselves and for those around them is if some sort of external element or external factor manifests itself into their lives. Just by this one outcome, their whole lives can change forever. The problem that I have with that belief is that what will happen if that external factor or that external belief never come into fruition? What will happen when reality kicks in and shows you that the one thing that you believe in hope is something that will never come to pass? And for a lot of individuals, that is more scary than reality itself. And the reason why it's more scarier than reality is because when a person comes to terms with the fact that their hope and belief does not manifest the way they want it to manifest, it kills their sense of validation. It destroys their self-worth. It hinders their development as a true individual, as a true mindset. And for some, it can be so scary to know that the hope that they believe in was a lie. They may resort to depression, may even resort to violence. And for some, knowing that hope will never manifest itself, they just prefer to end it all. And this is why, as a person who is going about their enlightenment, you should never have hope within your lexicon. If anything, you should not have your identity be based on any external factor or external validation. Everything about yourself, everything about your beliefs, everything that you want to manifest into your life, it has to begin from within. And this is where the reflections of any inner man, you have to ask yourself, would things be better if I went about things differently? Instead of hoping that this particular job hires me, how about I develop myself and let the best company out there come look for me? Instead of waiting for this particular person to share the same mutual feelings that I have for them, how about I make myself the best person that I want to be, and then let that aura and let that vibe and that energy attract a person that'll be good in my life? And instead of waiting for policies and laws to go into effect, or waiting for some spiritual enlightenment to help my life be better, How about I go and make those experiences for myself? So that way I can get the happiness that I want. That way I can find my true self and my true identity without having to worry about what other people think or what other people believe. Believe me, this thought process does not happen overnight. And to really get to that point, or to even start that process, you first have to deny external validation. You first have to realize that external validation is fickle. As easy as it comes, it's also easy to take it away from you. The only validation that will never be taken away from you comes from yourself. It comes from within. And so in that regard, yes, hope sounds nice. Hope sounds beautiful. It sounds sweet to the ears. And it may make the heart flutter a bit. But understand that hope only exists through external validation. And therefore, it's easy to have hope be taken away from you. And you most certainly do not want to be put in that position to where you're waiting for things to happen. Why not go out there and make things happen for yourself? That mountain that seems to be in your way, instead of hoping that that mountain will someday get up and walk away, how about you climb up to the very top of that mountain? Conquer it. And the next thing you know, you will be in position to slay any dragons that comes to your mountain. That is a beautiful thing. And that is the true essence of inner validation. With that regard, it will take time for people to come to terms with that. It will take time that, especially for any young man that's listening in, you should never base your existence on people, on objects, on beliefs, or anything that takes away your inner validation. You should always keep the foundation of your self-validation very strong. And of course, there will be some people who may not like your personality. There will be some people who will think you're selfish and that you think of others way less than you think of yourself. And yes, those words may seem harmful at first, but understand this. In this particular reality, in this moment in time, you only come into this world with one life. And it will truly be a waste if you spend your entire lifetime basing your existence, basing your purpose on someone else or some other external factor that is not truly yourself. So again, nothing wrong with politics in some regards. Nothing wrong with religion in some regards. But understand that you are your first person. You should always take yourself into first priority. Then and only then will you be able to look at external factors and see if they line up with who you are as a person. See if they line up with who you are as a human being. And especially as a young man or even an older man, you will come to terms that, you know what? there's some things in this reality and in this life that doesn't show the true essence of who I truly am. Some things you just have to cut off. They may be more distractions than they are helpful. But the good thing about it is this. Once you lock into your inner validation, once you lock into your true purpose and who you are from within, that energy, that mindset will also attract the right people who will be more than helpful in your life, who will be more than helpful to get you where you want to be in this life. So again, I reiterate, nothing wrong with hope. It is beautiful. But hope should not be a word within your vocabulary. If anything, let hope be for the lesser man, as he tried to find himself. You don't need hope. You have yourself. And because you have yourself, it will be much easier to manifest the things you want and the things you desire in this reality. And so, that should be the true essence of any person, but especially for any man who is on his own enlightenment and path in this reality. You have the power to make things happen for yourself. You have the power to manifest things into your life. You have the power to create any and all experiences you want to have in your reality. Believe me, this path is very lonesome. Not many people, let alone any man, will have the mindset to be able to travel this path. But the benefits and the awards that await outweighs the costs. And once you get to the very top, you know that you have done all of this from within and nothing from any external validation. So before I leave, I will end this session with a quote from the legendary Miyamoto Musashi. And he was quoted as saying this: "You must understand that there is more than one path to the top of the mountain." So with that said, I'm Sigma Jones. Thanks for tuning in. Join me next time on the Reflections